Hello, I'm Evans Mirages, the Harry T. Wilkes Artistic Director for Cincinnati Opera. First off, let me say again what a sorrow it is to have had to cancel our Summer 2020 festival. As heart-wrenching as that decision was, all of us feel it's the right and safe thing to do for you, our patrons, and for all our artists. While we might not be on stage in Music Hall or at the SCPA this summer, we'll be here, online, with an ever-increasing presence doing what we do best, telling stories that uplift our spirits. This edition of Raps to Go continues to explore how people close to us fell in love with opera. Our guest today is Cincinnati businessman and philanthropist Harry Fath. Harry was our board president when I was hired in 2005. From the first time I met Harry and his wife Linda, I was impressed by his keen ability to cut to the chase. A friend of mine said admiringly of Harry, "You don't exhale much around Harry Fath." As you'll hear, Harry is a passionate opera lover. He would say to me again and again, "You know, I don't know much about opera," and then proceed to give an insightful assessment of an artist or a performance. Most of all, Harry's devotion is Cincinnati-centric. He has used his success to lift up many of our arts organizations and charities. Harry came by his love of opera as a tourist on his first adult trip to Europe. He brought that passion home to Cincinnati. Here's Harry's story.
When I graduated from college, I had never seen an opera or a symphony or heard the music. And my roommate and I wanted to go to Europe for 90 days. And my father gave me enough money to average $8 a day. But we had a book with us, Europe on $5 a day, which was pretty famous back then. So we went to Europe, we landed in Paris, and the book said, "When you're in Paris, you should go to the opera." So we went, standing room only, 50 cents, and saw my first opera, Rigoletto, and it really knocked my socks off. And you could rent a hotel room on the left bank for $1 a day. So at any rate, when we got down to Rome, the book said you need to go to the opera there. So we went to the Baths of Caracalla, and I saw The Force of Destiny. And that knocked my socks off. Then in Milan, they said you have to go to La Scala. And we went 50 cents, standing room only, and saw Aida, and I couldn't believe it. And a lot of the cities, the book said, have free concerts in their parks. And I went to all those and heard beautiful symphonic music. So I got home and entered the Army, and when I finally got to my permanent post, I was a basic training officer, and we got up really early, and I was finished at 4 o'clock. I didn't have a TV or a radio, so I was really bored, and I went to the post library and picked out an opera every day or a symphony, and came home and borrowed whatever equipment it's called to play the 33 1/3 record of the opera or the symphony. And I grew to really love it. And when I got home, I went to law school. When I got out of law school, I pursued my interest in classical music and opera. And eventually, I got on the opera board somehow and eventually became president. And the rest is history. I know we're in tough times right now, but I want you to keep your chin up. We'll be able to get this back on track, I hope, in a short period of time. And I just want to thank you so much for listening to this video.
In Harry's tenure as board president, we welcomed rising star soprano Sarah Coburn on more than one occasion. Here she is, singing one of Harry's first, and still favorite operas, Verdi's Rigoletto. Recorded live in Music Hall, here is Sarah Coburn singing Gilda's aria, Caro Nome.